What's good, everybody? It's your boy DJ the Chef. You already know what it is. But before we get into this video, I want to do something really quick. This is going to be part one of a two-part series. We're going to break solo battles down into two parts. I didn't want to make a long video. So part one is going to go over the first half and your first set of requirements as far as passing and running. Part two is going to break down the defensive side, how to run mid blitz effectively and how to run the field goal block effectively, and when to use your timeouts and when not to use your timeouts in the second half. So part one, I'm going to give you all of your passing marks and all of your running marks in order to break that 25K barrier that a lot of you are facing inside of solo battles. I'm going to talk about the $50 giveaway now. We were going to do a $50 giveaway this week once we got our solo battle rewards. A lot of you know that, and I didn't do it because last week I got a did not finish in solo battles. And since all of you voted based off of me completing all of my games and I was unable to do that, I didn't think it was fair to you to come out and do the giveaway. So this week, since we're going to finish all of our games and we're not gonna have a power outage like last week, we're gonna do the giveaway this week. So how it's gonna work is everyone gets automatically entered one time because you voted and commented, but those who guess the proper placement or the proper solo battle points that I score will get an additional place in the hat. Now, like I said, this is part one. Part two is coming out. So as you guys can see here, these are my current standings as far as weekend league goes. I have 25,370, 25,790, 25,516 on all of my solo battles. Did I say weekend league earlier? Solo battles. All of my solo battle stuff so far, I have the 90 beast mode squad I need to take on, which requires a little bit more focus. So I didn't want to do that quite yet because I wanted to get this video out to you guys. We're going to go ahead and cut over into the actual video of me completing these particular games. I'm going to walk you through the offensive side first and show you what you need to do per quarter on offense. So if you're going to want to do this exactly how I do this, you're going to need two things. You're going to need the Oakland Raiders playbook and pretty much any defensive playbook. The reason why I use the Oakland Raiders playbook for this versus West Coast for weekend league is because the Oakland Raiders playbook has the 4 verts play that allows me to get all of the passing yards and passing completions that I need in order to hit my marks. Now, the first mark that I'm going to tell you guys is that you want to get around 450 yards passing. My goal is normally about 100 yards per quarter. Now, with the first thing I do, if I do not get the ball, you'll see that I come out and I try to onside kick it. I'm not onside kicking it with the intention to actually get the ball back. I'm onside kicking it with the intention to actually shorten the field so the offense doesn't try to drive all the way down the field. And if I do get the interception, I don't have to automatically run backwards and lose time. I can just get the interception already down by my 10 or my 20, making it 80-yard drive. So as you can see here, I have Deion Sanders and he gets that pick for me. I am on the 13-yard line with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the quarter. This is why I did that, because if I would have got the pick, if I would have kicked it off, then I probably would have got the pick somewhere around the 50 or the 40, and that would have gave me a 60-yard drive versus almost an 80-yard drive. So let's go over the offense. Like I said, your first goal is to get 450 yards passing, right? But there's a certain way you want to do that. Your second goal is first downs. You're going to want to try to get at least 10 first downs per quarter, with your ultimate goal being by the end of the game 40. If you can get 40 first downs, that is a major milestone in order to increase your points in solo battles. So I'm going to walk you guys through this actual play. So you're going to go into gun, empty base, and then you're going to put your fastest receiver where I have Torrey Holt, so I switch him to Tyreek Hill, and I just put Randy Moss on the outside, and pretty much I'm good to go. Now, I broke this video down on my computer so I can kind of show you guys what you're looking for. So I'm going to have Tony Gonzalez here, and then I'm going to have Tyreek Hill here, and this guy is Marvin Harrison. He's going to be on a streak. My reads are going to go from Marvin Harrison on a streak to Tony Gonzalez. I hot route him on a slant, and I'll let Tyreek Hill automatically run that drag here. So again, first read, second read, third read. If there is zone and he gets pressed, this corner is going to let him go, and the hole is going to be in between this safety and this particular corner. And so as soon as he gets pressed, he's going to release outside, and the hole is going to be right here. It's going to be quick. As soon as you catch that ball, you're going to want to go ahead and brace yourself for the hit and do a possession catch, so he'll automatically fall and you get the first down. The next read, I'm going to read if it's man, and it's going to be Tony Gonzalez on a slant across the field. I'm just going to wait until he gets to the first down, and then I hit him. And if all else fails, I can't find what I want, I'm going to hit Tyreek Hill. So let's go ahead and watch. You'll see right here. So let's pause. Boom. Let's rewind that one more time so you guys can see it. So you see we get that jam, and then we get right in between that safety and that corner. Let's watch it one more time. And let's see if I can pause it right on time. So boom, that's my first read. So as soon as I saw that jam, I knew what I had, what I wanted. And I knew there was going to be a big hole here in between that corner and that safety. And I just let Lamar Jackson sit. You can see I'm already throwing the ball as soon as this corner turns his back. So he looks covered, but I'm aiming for this hole here, and that corner just can't get there. I'm already throwing the ball. Boom. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to possession catch. You'll see possession check, boom, fall down, get the first down. Now, the reason why I'm doing possession catch, one is because I want to get lit. And two is because my goal here is first downs as well. So I'm not only passing for yards, I'm also passing for first downs. If you score, you do not get the first down. And like I said, you want to get 40 first downs per the game, and you're trying to get 10 first downs per half. So even though I could give you guys one play touchdowns and you'll get your yards, you won't get your first downs. So you want to methodically drive down the field in such a way that you're getting your first and you're getting your yards. So the next thing is you're going to want to try to get as many 2-point conversions as possible. I don't know if there's a magic number for 2-point conversions, but I do know I see a slight increase, not anything too major, but just a slight increase, which can come in handy if you're in like a 100-point battle. I run the same play, just go ahead and run the crossers, and if it's not there, I take off with Lamar Jackson. Now you'll see that on this one, I'm actually just going to go ahead and kick it deep, because I already got my first long drive in, and now this time I'm actually protecting the score. And I got really lucky here, and I ended up getting a safety, which benefited me because I did that corner kick and the computer just ran out the back of the end zone. So now I get my defensive score that I was looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and catch the ball here and run backwards and try to go out as close to the 5-yard line as possible. I don't do the 1-yard line because I don't want to get a penalty and get a safety, and I don't want to get a sack or get a safety of that nature. So your goal is to try to get 2 drives per quarter. It's really hard to get 10 first downs if you don't have at least 2 drives. So a lot of times I try to make my first drive more about the yards and the speed, and I make my second drive more about the first down. And you can inverse them depending on how much time you have left. Running out of bounds does not help you in the first quarter because the clock still ticks even when you come back onto the playing field. It just doesn't tick when you're selecting your play. So if you're in a time crunch and you want to switch your plays, then run out of bounds. If not, you're going to want to no huddle as much as possible, because no huddling is faster than running out of bounds and then coming back on the field. I highly suggest using your timeouts in the first and third quarter, and there's 2 reasons why. In the first quarter, you don't have a way to stop the clock other than timeouts. In the second quarter, after 2 minutes, you can at least run out. In the third quarter, same thing. You don't have a way to stop the clock without timeouts or spiking the ball. But in the fourth quarter, you can actually stop the clock running out every time, because in the fourth quarter, you can stop it after the 4-minute mark. And since the game starts at 3 minutes, then every time you run out of bounds will result in the clock stopping until the ball is snapped. So if you're in the third quarter, you're going to want to use your timeout. So that is the second hint, is use your timeouts in the first and third quarter as necessary to manage the clock. That even means if the computer has the ball and their drive is taking too long, go ahead and call that timeout so you can stall them, so you can get your interception and they don't run the clock out on you, because they do use accelerated clock and it does drain the clock as fast as possible. Now again, you want to try to get as many possessions as possible in the first half and in the second half. I think 2 possessions is good enough, and you want to have your scoring mark around 1 minute to 1 minute and 20 seconds. You want to be able to score each time you have the ball. This should ensure that you're getting enough time back on the clock and you're going to have enough time to get your first downs. So we've gone over the passing plays that I use for solo battles. Now we're going to get into the run plays that I use for solo battle. Okay, so let's talk about running. But before we do that, let's make sure we re-hit our marks for passing. Our first mark is 450 yards passing, 40 first downs, and make sure we use our timeouts in first and third. Running is something that I actually do in the second quarter after the 2-minute mark, and in the fourth quarter after I've achieved all of the passing yards that I think I'm going to be able to get for the game, I start to run. The running game is super simple. What you're pretty much going to do is you're going to come out in a passing play out of the run formation you want to run out of. And you're going to do this because it tricks the computer to try to cover the pass, because they're not going to make an offensive adjustment once you change your actual play, as long as it's in the same formation. So you'll see that I actually come out in a fade situation, and then I switch back over to the stretch. And I just run that left and right all the way throughout the game. Now, the goal for the run game is, since I'm inside of that 2-minute mark, I'm going to make sure that I get out of bounds no matter what. Even if the play is busted, I'm going to go ahead and run out of bounds. And even if I have a guaranteed first down, if it's my second drive of the quarter, then I'm just going to go ahead and try to get as many first downs as possible, because at this point, the first downs are going to give you more points than actually the yards. Even if you hit your yards without the first downs, you're going to see a huge decrease actually if you don't get your first downs. So my run game, once I get into my run mode, I'm just gonna make sure I'm picking up first downs as often and as quick as possible. So you see here, Eric Dickerson just runs straight out of bounds, and I'm managing that clock so I can maybe squeak out a third drive if I'm lucky. And as you can see here, I already have 16-ish first downs in 2 quarters. I'm a little bit behind, but I still have 1 minute and 35 seconds left with a potential third possession in this quarter. Now, your rushing goals. Let's talk about rushing goals. Your rushing goals are 250 yards a game. Try to get around 100 in the first half, 125 in the first half if you can. And that's in between your quarterback rushing and your running back rushing. And then try to get the rest of it in the fourth quarter as you're milking that clock down and killing the game. So you have 250 yards rushing, which is your rushing goal. And then you have 2 rushing touchdowns, whether it is through your running back or through your actual quarterback. Those are your goals for rushing. Super simple. It's way easier than passing or anything else that you have. So as you can see, this is our stats going into the second half of the quarter. We have 32 points. Points really don't mean that much. It's like touchdowns and stuff like that. It's really about your stats. So we have 32 points, 181 passing yards, 134 rushing yards, and 20 first down. So I know right now I'm ahead of my rushing goal. I need to catch up on passing, but my first downs are right on track where I need them to be. I also have only given up about 12 total yards on offense. I try to stay under 75 if I'm lucky, with no points given up are my goals for defense. Let's go ahead and get into the second half so I can show you guys what you need to do.